Hello vintage outboard motor fans, this is T-Mike here on Toledo Bend Lake again. Yep, making another video. Today's video is going to be a cool one. I'm calling it Lessons Learned. Lessons Learned. So it's going to focus on repairing and troubleshooting a Type 1 carburetor. So to give you a little background on that, I call this a Type 2 carburetor. These are the carburetors that I focus on, 1950s, 60s, and early 70s, and the motors that I mainly work on. They have a bowl at the bottom with a needle valve inside that's hinged, and they have high and low speed adjustments on the front here. So I call that a Type 2 carburetor, and I've been focusing mainly on these motors and staying away from the other type carburetors. And lately I decided I was going to venture out of my safety zone and started working on the Gales and the Elgins and the TDs and TNs and the late 40s and early 50s. Well, they have a Type 1 carburetor, what I call it. And these Type 1 carburetors, if you've never worked on them before, they're a different design. The float is inside this chamber, and it fills up with gas, and the needle comes out the top. So I tried working on one 5 years ago, and I had all kind of problems with it. I kind of gave up on it and went back to my safe area. Well, I decided to learn how to master this Type 1 carburetor, and that's what this video is going to be about. I had a Gale I was working on for David, and I had a lot of trouble with the fuel problem on it with this Type 1 carburetor, and I learned a lot. If you've worked on it before, you probably found these areas that were tricky and figured it out. If you've never worked on one, this video will help you a lot, because I found a lot of areas in here that you could focus on where the trouble spots could be in repairing and cleaning and testing this Type 1 carburetor. So this video will walk you through all the different scenarios I went through trying to get this motor running for David. And I enjoyed doing it, and I wanted to share it with you guys and girls. So I hope y'all enjoy it. If everybody's ready, here we go. All right, we're out here on the water. She runs. But she's not running real good. She's got a fuel problem. Surges, running in and out. Put her in gear, see what she does. It runs. And then it dies. So I don't know if I got a dirty carburetor. I'm not sure what it could be. It does run, but not real good. So I'm gonna start her up and try to get in, and I'll have to do some more barrel testing on her and bring her back out. That's how it goes in the vintage outboard motor world, but she is a beauty. She does look great. I'll get her going. Decided to take a look at it here on the water. I took the side cover off, and I see the problem. The needle valve here is not up in the air. It's attached to the float down here. When it's full of gas, it's supposed to come up, and it's not up. So I'm either out of gas or something. Some reason I don't have gas in the bowl, so I got to take her in and work on that. I pulled the filter plug out at the bottom, and no gas is coming out. So I got gas in the tank. I checked. It's got gas in it, but no gas filling up the bowl. So I got to bring her in and look at that blockage. So this is a good one. So I'm getting no fuel into the carburetor, and here's the shutoff valve. Shutoff valve goes right there. All right. So I removed the shutoff valve, and fuel's not flowing out of it. It should be pouring out. Watch what happens when I open the cap of the fuel tank. Fuel start pouring out. Fuel starts pouring out. So got a bad cap. The air vent right here is what lets air flow through, so the air is not coming through. When I put the cap back on, stops the flow of fuel. Got a bad cap. I'm either fix it or replace it. Okay, it's getting fun now. So the fuel cap cleaning worked. I opened the valve and I get plenty of gas coming in, but the float sticks. You see right there, it's sticking in the down position. Gas is pouring out. I can reach in there and pull the float up and it stays, which is what's supposed to happen. That thing fills up. The float pushes that needle valve up and seals it. Problem is, when you go to choke it, it stays down and overflows. It's supposed to pop back up. It's not free enough in there to pop up. I'll pick it up manually and it stays. So I got a problem now with the stem and the float in here not going up and down with the fuel flow. Fix the problem with filling the bowl. Now I got a problem with the float. I'll have to take it apart and fix that now. Having fun out here on the lake. Yeah, I got the carb in here and I pulled the cover off of it, and you see the needle that needs to come up and down. Everything looks good unless it's a bad float. But when I took the bottom off of this bowl where the fuel's got to get in there, look at the needle there. Got some corrosion on the bottom of it, and I see some junk down in there. And the screen is kind of bent up. The needle might be hanging up on all this. So I'm going to do a real good clean job on the screen. Make sure it's perfectly round. See the junk that's in there? Might not be helping. I'm going to do another clean job on everything and put it back together and see if that helps. It was working at first. I think all that clogging from the gas tank is still filtering through here. I'll clean her up and give her another shot. Okay, so I'll clean the bottom of this plug that goes down here. I found a lot of caked in dirt and grime down in the bottom. I think that was affecting the needle. And I cleaned the screen out real good. So we're gonna put it back together and give it a shot and see if this works. Let's see what goes on now. I got the gas cap off to make sure that's not causing a problem. And I'm gonna fuel up this baby by turning the gas on and see if the needle will come up after cleaning that bottom piece right here. Let's see what happens. Whoa, hey, she works, she works. Let's fix that. So this is how you choke it. You hold the needle down, fuel should run out the top eventually. There it comes. So that's choking it. Take it off a choke, the needle pops back up and stops it. That's the way it's supposed to work. Needle should, when pushed down, the needle should pop right back up like that. And it's, the fuel is, there's no gasket between this and this because the fuel is only up to right here. So that ought to take care of it. I think we got the fuel problem solved. So I'm gonna fire it up and see if she runs and take her back out on the lake. Lessons learned about this type of carburetor. The lessons are, you not only got to clean the tank, but you got to clean the cap and make sure and clean the base, the plug at the bottom here, because that pin sits on the bottom there, and if that has debris in it, it can hold it back from coming up and down. So lesson learned. Woohoo! I love what I do. Now, here we go. Back to the cap. This is the cap that was on there, and there was a spring that came out of it when I took it off. So that's a damaged cap. Here's another one. There's a piece missing on here. There's a washer, and the spring is underneath there to push pressure on this to let the air go through. So I had a bad cap, not just dirty, but bad. I'm going to clean this one up and put it on there and run it with this one. Learning a lot about these type of carburetors and motors. The Gale Buccaneer. Yes, sir, that fixed it. Lesson learned on these Type 1 carburetors. You sediment gathers at the bottom. You got to make sure and check that. You got to make sure and check the cap for dirt and grime. It's different from cleaning the Type 2 carburetors. Type 1 carburetors have some tricks to it. So I hope y'all enjoyed the video.
Well, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I know I enjoyed making it. If you did enjoy it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I make at least one video every week. And then go ahead and hit the like button and join the T-Mike fraternity. So if you're this first time watching one of my videos, I have over 350 videos of everything you need to know about repair, maintaining, and restoring your vintage outboard motors. I specialize in Johnson & Evinrude's 3 horsepower to 20 horsepower, 1950s, 60s, and 70s. So as I said, I have every video you need to know on how to work on these motors. And if I don't have one, I want you to let me know. Just hit in the comments on one of the videos and tell me what video I need to make, and I'll make it for you. I've also got every part you need to work on these motors. I have an eBay store. You can get to my eBay store by clicking T-Mike Vintage Outboards, or click on the link down below in the description. I have over 2,000 parts in my eBay store. I sell all the hardware. I sell all the kits, spark wires, ignition, magneto components, points, coils, condensers, gear case, seals, everything. I even have some printed, 3D printed plastic handle grips and other parts for you. So I have all the videos and I have all the parts you need. I also now am providing parts manuals. So I have over 150 hard copy parts manuals, 1923 to 1958. So you can get your parts manuals from me too. So this is my passion. My goal was to have every video, every part, and every parts manual that you need. And if I don't have what you need, let me know. You can always call me for technical assistance too. My number is 337-278-5429. Give me a shout out. I love text messaging. I'll try to help you and answer your question. So I enjoy what I do. I hope you're having as much fun as I am working on these motors. And remember, always remember, and never forget, here at T-Mike Vintage Outboards, we're doing it one motor at a time. See you next video.